Hello, folks. This is Robert again from your Sears Hometown store. If you're having trouble tossing and turning in bed or having a backache or your partner wakes you up when they come to bed, we can solve your problem with our Sealy Posturepedic mattresses or other name brand mattresses at your Sears Hometown store. So come on down to your Sears Hometown store and get some rest for your eyeballs with one of our Sealy or other fine mattresses.
Just look for the parking lot full of cars. Yep, that's Charlie's Pizza.
Hey, this is Joey Horton out the world famous Charlie's Pizza. Come down and see us.
First dates, starting with friends, celebrations, a break from work, whatever your excuse for stopping by Charlie's Pizza, everyone understands because we all love Charlie's for pizza, pasta, sandwiches, salads, and lots more. What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza specialty? What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza memory? It's the worst kept secret around. It's Charlie's Pizza in Jacksboro. See you there.
Welcome to the Hometown Sears studio. My name is Les Martin, along with our executive producer, Honeybee.
And I'm Brent Allen.
We certainly appreciate you taking an hour out of your day to join us here on WLAF Just Sports. Also, as you can tell, we have a third individual with us tonight, and this is the head basketball coach of the Lady Cougars, Coach Brad Honeycutt. Glad to have you on here. And before we get started, I've got to talk about our sponsors. The interview process that we're going to put Mr. Brad Honeycutt through is nothing like the interview process that he just come out of. This one's going to be much tougher. But if you have any questions for the coach, you feel free to call in. But in the meantime, we've got him on here. We want to get a face out there. We want to you get acquainted with the coach because you're going to see a lot of him this season, this basketball season. So before we get started, I've got to say thank you to all of our wonderful sponsors. First and foremost, we've got to say thank you to Sears, your hometown Sears store and the Food City Shopping Center at the Woodlands Mall. Their phone number is 562-7700 for anything that you need inside or outside of your home. I got a question to ask you right now, Coach.
Yes, sir.
It just hit me. Do you mow the lawn or does your wife?
I do. Though she did help me this week. But 99% of the time, it's me.
There you go. So men, go out and get the lawn tractors. Ladies, go get the cooking utensils. If you want to over the range microwave, see? I'm okay though, because majority rules in the studio.
Okay.
And also, before we get started any further in detail here, if you're wondering why we're green and purple and yellow and things like that, the feed for Comcast itself is messed up. It's not our feed, folks, so please understand, and Comcast is working on it extremely hard. Thank you for calling Just Sports. You on the air?
Told you I was kin to everybody in this county.
And who are you kin to?
Joe Friday is my second cousin, and that right there is my second cousin.
It is.
Yes. I'm probably kin to Brett and Liz Martin, if there's known.
I don't know about that. You're a Johnson.
I was a Bossiers, though.
Oh, was you?
One of them blabbermouth Bossiers.
Well, I can tell that's not changed any.
It'll never change. I'll always say it the way it is, the way I think it is, and Brad knows that.
Well, do you want to tell Coach what your name is?
Catherine Johnson.
Hey, how are you, Catherine?
I'm fine. I'm mean as ever, buddy.
Yes.
One of our best callers.
All right.
She calls
I'm a good chow-chow, too. You ask Brad if I don't.
A good chow-chow?
I'm so proud he got that dog.
Well, thank you very much.
He'll make him a good one. He goes to church. He respects people, and he will hang in there.
Well, that's what we're after, right? We've got a good crop of young coaches, and that's what we're after. Somebody.
About 80% of the people in this county is some kin to me. Unless they're Yankees that's both been here and we don't know them and they don't know anybody else. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
She's related to everybody we've got on this show. We've had on this show. She's been related to them, one
That's
way
great.
or the other.
She's been related. That's great.
Second of all, we want to say the over-the-microwave over-the-range microwave from
Right
Sears.
back into Sears. Got it.
Right back into Sears. I've got to get our sponsors in. They's one that makes this show tick.
That's right.
Also, if you need any type of box springs and mattress, they have it. They even sell the big box of washing powders. And I did say washing the proper way, didn't I? Instead of
Yeah.
washing. Most folks, it's a Walmart's and washing.
That's right.
It's actually Walmart and washing. So anyway, we'll move right on to our next sponsor. The next sponsor, we want to say thank you to Birch Screen Printing, downtown La Follette beside the Birch Memorial Bridge. Their phone number is 562-3044 for all your screen printing needs, whether it be hoodies, T-shirts, uniforms, basketball, baseball, it doesn't really matter. Keep your money in town. 68 cents of every dollar stays right inside the county. We certainly need it. And their phone number, once again, is 562-3044. Also, we want to say thank you to Charlie's Pizza. Often imitated, never duplicated for 38 long years. Charlie's been doing pizza the right way. Also, they have many, many items on the menu now, just like the chicken breast, which I'm sure Brent hasn't tried it yet.
Not yet, but I'm going to.
It is a grilled chicken breast. I'd say it's grilled. It comes out of the oven. Would that be grilled?
Baked.
Baked.
I believe is what.
Okay. Well, I didn't know
Baked. I mean,
because it's on
either way.
one of those rolling ovens. You
cooked.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's cooked chicken, baked chicken. Let's say baked chicken with mozzarella cheese and mushrooms on it. And it is fantastic. You can order it, and that's all you get, and you can get side items. And with a delicious salad bar that they have, you know what? Who needs anything else besides salad and chicken? Their phone number for call-in orders is 562-0116. Or if you'd like to go in and sit down and just have a great time, it's a great family atmosphere. Go down and see Jerry and the folks and tell them we sent you. Also, we want to say thank you to All-Star Awards at 720 Jacksboro Pike, right beside or across the street from Sonic in the A-frame building. Their phone number is 562-6761. David is the gentleman who makes all of the plaques for the offense and defensive player award winners each week for us at no cost. He does a great job, and we pass those on to those kids, and so deserved.
That's right.
So that's it for our sponsors. And this interview with Mr. Coach Brad Honeycutt, I promise you folks, it's coming up. It's being brought to you by MC Lawn Service. The phone number is 423-871-0364. Call Mr. Mike Cunningham. If you need a lawn to be mowed, maybe that's what you can do, Coach.
Yeah, that would be great.
Since he's got him a new job, he's moved up from assistant to head coach. It's very possible, folks.
I'd be okay with that.
So once again, the phone number is 423-871-0364. Now, we're going to get right into it. We certainly appreciate you taking, time out of your busy schedule. I don't know exactly what's been going on since you've accepted this job, but tell us just a little bit about yourself and where you've been coaching at for the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I was born and raised in Campbell County, and the last 4 years I've been coaching at Grace Christian Academy over in Carnes, and I've been an assistant coach over there to Matt Mercer, and we were in single A over there. I had a very competitive program the last 4 years. We've been ranked as high as number 7 in the state. At one point, we made it to Murfreesboro to the state tournament 2 years ago. This year, we unfortunately fell about a half an inch short against Hampton in the sub-state and didn't make it back 2 years in a row. But learned a ton over there. Learned a ton about winning. Learned a ton about running just a clean program, doing things the right way, and learned a ton about hard work just paying off.
As far as getting the information from the boys' side of the game to the ladies' side of the game, is it pretty similar?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's very similar. It's still, you can take the same amount of preparation. You still got the X's and O's side of it. You still got to be in shape. You still got to be able to run the floor. You still got to box out, make good pass fakes. You still got to be able to shoot the ball. I mean, it's all similar. The basics of it are all very similar.
As far as what you will do with the ladies when you have an opportunity, and let me ask you this, what does your schedule look like right now as far as when will you start working these girls out?
Definitely. We get 5 days in the spring where we can actually practice with them and give them instruction. Up until that point, We're allowed to do conditioning, basically, where we can't really be giving them instruction, but we can do some conditioning, have some open gym where they can come and play on their own, and we can just kind of supervise it. That's all we're going to do up until probably the last week of May, and then we're going to get our 5 days of practice in that we're allowed, and then that'll lead right into our summer schedule. In the summer schedule, we start going to our team camps, and we can get a lot of practice in as well in the summertime. So,
Have you met with the team yet?
yes, I met the team yesterday for the first time.
And how was that?
It was great. It was such a relief to finally meet them. I could tell that they were all just so excited, to finally meet me, and I can tell they're all just so excited to get started, and I am too. I think we're all just kind of tired of waiting and ready to just get to work.
What style of offense? I know you haven't seen the girls yet, but basically, if you've got the starting five, or if you've got the team that you really want there that can run whatever offense that you would like to run, what offense would that be?
Oh man, that's a tough question. Like you said, I would want it fit to my team, but I do have some styles that I prefer. I really like teams like Wisconsin here in the NCAA tournament that in the half court, they just really make the defense work. They cut hard, a lot of back doors, a lot of ball screens. Just wait for the right shot to come along, not necessarily shooting up the first shot that comes along, get a good look at it. But on the same, on the other side of the pillow, I guess you could say, if I've got a team that can just run up and down the court and run the legs out for me underneath somebody else by getting quick shots up, hey, I'm all for that as well. But I do have a style I prefer, but I'm not going to force that on the girls. I'm going to try to, like you said, do what's best for them, what fits them, and gives us the best chance to win every night.
Thank you for calling Just Sports. You on the air?
Hi,
How are you?
Liz. Fine, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I don't have Coach Price on tonight. I've got Coach Brad Honeycutt for the head basketball coach of the Lady Cougars. I'm sorry I failed you. What do you mean, oh?
Yeah.
She loves Coach
I understand.
So what's going on in your world?
Fine, I'm always at my mother.
You are?
I tried to my brother, tried to talk to my mother, and don't answer the phone.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Better send somebody over there.
yeah, send somebody over there.
I'm going to accept them tomorrow, the next day,
Yeah?
take on them.
Okay. Well, we'll be praying for her.
Okay.
How's that?
Okay, that's good.
That's prayer changes things, right?
Yeah.
You might say a prayer when you get off the phone and may call back 20 minutes from now and they may answer the phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See, that's all.
I guess they'll mad at me because they're bad son. I know. I mean, to the table for a ladle. I seen him. My dog.
Well, maybe that's the reason why they ain't answering the phone, because maybe they know you're mad at them. I don't think I would answer the phone if I knew you was mad at me and you was calling me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay, so maybe you need to take a deep breath, drink you a nice cold glass of ice water, and then call back and talk sweet to them.
Okay.
That would probably work a little bit better than calling over there and yelling at them.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Fran.
Hi, how are you?
So how are you doing?
I am fantabulistic.
That's a new word, by the way.
Yeah, don't try to look it up. It's not actually a real word yet.
I like it.
I'm working on it though.
Where are you guys coming over here at Hardee's to see me?
If I go to Hardee's, you're going to come over there and buy my breakfast or lunch. I'm going to be like Katherine Johnson.
Okay.
I've got
I buy your lunch.
I can be bought.
You're in Fran and Justin.
We got to bring Justin.
Oh, really? I don't know if his wife would like that or not.
She might not go for that.
Exactly.
Oh, well. You she can back, she can come too.
Okay. She might do that then. Well, I said she may do that then. Who's your favorite team?
Go Clippers.
We'll talk to you Thursday.
All right.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Coach, I got a question. It finally hit me. I knew I'd come up with something.
Thank
when
you.
When you take over a program like this, what is your goal? Is it to to teach the players that you have the system that you want, or do you look at their strengths and try to play to their strengths? Which is more important in your mind?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. Like he had said, I have to look at them now, but at the same time, maybe, some of my players now, I want to win right now, first of all. And with this team this year, I'm going to do whatever benefits this team this year.
Okay.
Long term, if I think there's some things that I can start working with my younger players on to kind of get them used to that as they're coming up, or even my middle school programs, something that I think would benefit us, then, maybe I start putting that in with my younger kids. Whereas the kids that are going to be getting most of the playing time on varsity, with them, I'm going to be doing whatever it takes to win right
Play to
now.
their strengths.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I owe that to them, and that's kind of always the outlook I've had on it. We're going to play for right now, not for the future or anything like that. But I respect these girls, and they, especially the seniors. They put in 4 years up here, let alone what they put in middle school and elementary school. And I want to reward them, and we're going to work as hard as we can to give them the best shot to win this year.
Outstanding.
As far as giving them the best shot to win this year, how many seniors, or do you know how many seniors that do you have? I mean,
Yeah.
Coach Browning, I think, from what I've gathered, the information that I've gathered, has done a pretty good job with leaving the table set pretty well.
Definitely, he has. He's done a great job. And that's one of the things I've done is got on your all's website and watched some of the films from last year because I'm trying to get my hands on just to kind of see what I'm coming into. And so there were several girls that played last year a lot that have graduated, but there's several that have come back. And right now we may have a few more tryouts that I'm not aware of yet, and that'd be great. But right now we have I think it's 5 seniors coming back from last year's team, and several of those played quite a bit. So, excuse me. And then of course I'm going to give them a look. Then hopefully we have some more juniors come out, rising juniors, and then we have several sophomores coming up, rising sophomores. And then I haven't got a chance yet to meet with my 8th graders that are going to be freshmen next year. But we have roughly 8 to 10. Rising 8th graders, from 2 middle schools that had good seasons last year. So,
Well, I'm going to tell you one young lady that plays middle school that will be a freshman next year. Her name is Carissa Nance.
okay,
I want you to remember that
I'll
name.
remember that name.
Carissa Nance. Don't let him forget.
Carissa
Do you know
Nance.
her?
To write that down.
Okay, Carissa Nance. That's the one that you need to remember.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
She's a very good basketball player.
All right. Great.
She'll be a freshman next year.
Plug. Okay.
Yeah, I got to give her a plug.
You do.
I do. That's the only one I know. Plus,
All right, well,
and
good.
besides that, she's very good.
Good deal.
But as far as winning now, it's easy to sit here and say, I want to win now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you haven't had your first practice yet. Tell us something that you have experienced in your coaching career that may be a benefit to you now that could be an assist to you to win now.
Well, I think a huge thing, like I said, I was blessed to be a part of a lot of success at Grace. We finished in the top 10 almost every year we were there in one way or another, either in the state tournament or in the Sweet 16 or the AP poll. And we did that with not having superior talent to all the other teams, not having superior athletes. And we may have superior athletes this week. Like I said, I want to see my girls. But at the same time, if we don't, what's benefited me the most is, I guess, learning that it's not all about just the athlete. That can help. But
Right.
you can do it by out scheming the other team, just simply outworking the other team in the off season, out preparing in practice the other team, and a lot of it just does come down to X's and O's. But I guess if anything, it encouraged me so much to not always look at the athlete. And I was in a similar team my senior year in high school. We weren't the most athletic team in the world, but definitely not more athletic than probably the top half of the district, and we ended up winning the district tournament. And just stuff like that I've learned over my career, that there's more than just passing the eye test, I guess, in warm-ups. You can.
So, as far as what you'll do during your basketball season, you spent 4 years at Grace.
Yes, sir.
You're originally from Jacksboro.
Mm-hmm.
You go to church at Mount Perrin Baptist,
I do.
correct? You're very heavily involved in the youth program there. And we were talking prior to coming on to the show, and he said that he felt like that this was part of contributing to the youth program and to the youth of Campbell County. As far as a basketball coach, do you think any of that goes away when you get a technical called on you?
Well,
I'm just curious. I mean, listen here. I go to church. I'm a Christian.
I understand.
But there's times that my emotions get the best of me. To be one of those basketball coaches and get a technical call on you. I mean, some people may say some youth advisor he is. But I mean, have you ever had a technical call?
I have not had any technicals called on me. I've talked yet, I guess, but I've talked to plenty
Surely
of
he's not
officials.
a Conzo party guy.
Well, you may not hear me yelling at the officials, but I will talk to them if need be. Definitely. I have to walk a fine line. My brother's an official, so he'll never have my games, but still.
Right.
Well,
He's
that
in
brings
Knox
up an
County, right?
interesting
Yes, he
question,
is.
I think. How would you describe yourself as a head coach? Or you've not been a head coach yet. I know that you have an idea of how you want to be. Who would you compare yourself to? Who would you like to run?
Probably only in demeanor, because X's and O's wise, preparation wise, he's way above me. But Brad Stevens, that used to be at Butler, I was a huge Brad Stevens fan. Tried to pattern myself after him, and he's as cool as they come. But yeah, I was talking about this with another coach the other day. He's as cool as they come. You never see him yelling at his players. You never see him yelling at the officials. But yet his players play as hard, if not harder, than any team they go against. So there's different ways to get that done, and I understand different players are motivated in different ways. But if anything, I would compare myself to him. He would be. You never see him hardly getting technicals. He'll talk to the refs if he has to. But I would say a Brad Stevens or maybe a John Thompson III that's at Georgetown, somebody like them. I try to keep my composure, because I think at times in basketball, anyways, not every sport's like this, but if you get too riled up about a situation, it can affect your players and they can start to lose focus. So kind of that's my style. But again,
That's pretty impressive. But Brad Stevens is a tremendous coach.
Yeah, you blew me away with
Love
that.
him.
I
love him.
I wasn't expecting that. That's a good answer.
not just
Yeah.
because we share the same first name, but
What will you be
Yeah.
teaching in high school?
well,
Will you be at the high school? Let me ask you that.
yeah, the plans are for me to be at the high school. Probably something in computers. Not real sure what that's going to be yet, but probably something in the computer area. I don't know if it'd be. I really don't even know, to be honest with you. Keyboarding. There's so many different things that fall under that umbrella, but we're still kind of working out the details on that. But hopefully, it's something in that area, because that's something I really enjoy teaching. It's what I teach now, so I really enjoy that. So we'll see.
Thanks for calling Just Sports. You on the air.
The main thing is to teach them to relax
Yes, I agree. They need to be relaxed.
and stand out in their driveway and shoot 50 shots and hit every one. But they have to learn to get the foul shots when they're on the court in front of that crowd.
I agree.
So they've got their calves or legs jawed up knots, and they get to cramping, and they couldn't hit a shot. They couldn't hit a bushel basket, much less a net. And relaxing when they get on the line is one of the main things. Get those foul shots.
Yes, I agree. That's a good point.
Relax.
Yes.
Don't be scared to death.
hmm
Okay.
Hillbillies, like you're going up the hill, and when you shoot that shot, your legs won't be tied up knots.
So I think I think Coach Honeycutt will have a plan to make sure that these ladies are probably in very good physical shape.
Well, they're in good physical shape. They just get too tense.
Oh,
So
okay.
you fellas have a good restful night.
Oh, okay.
Thank
You too. Bye.
She always amazing. She actually knows sports. I mean, any sport we're
Sounds
talking
like
about,
it.
she's got some pretty good information on every
Good
sport
deal.
we talk about.
She does. And she calls us every Tuesday and every Thursday.
He's faithful.
That's
Very
There you
faithful.
go.
As far as the parents,
Mhm.
I know you're teaching high school, and I know you're coaching high school girls. I get all that.
Mhm.
But before I get to the parents, why change between the men and going to the women?
Well, it wasn't necessarily a thing where I said, you know what, I'm tired of coaching boys basketball. I want to go to women's. Like I said, with us, it was more of a situation where I think the timing, was a God thing, and it opened up here. And when the job came open, I really didn't know what they were even looking for. So I told her, I said, I don't even know if I really got a good shot at getting the job. But then I applied, and then kind of as time went by, before the interview came up, it just started kind of, tearing
Started
down.
feeling it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
started feeling it. I started, thinking about it. And you can ask her. I mean, I would go to high school games all the time, even when I wasn't coaching. I just love high school basketball. But I ordered before this even came about, I'd ordered the girls' state tournament where you can watch it online, and I, watched as much as I could. Had one of my friends over one night, Jared Laverdier. He's the head coach of Scott County, but Jared came over one night, and we were watching high school girls basketball, but it, just anything like that. And I'm not competitive at everything, but basketball, as competitive as they come.
Coach,
So.
it doesn't, as excited as you are right now talking about it, I couldn't imagine you being competitive about everything. I bet he is. I bet he's competitive about everything.
What's
Is he
refreshing?
competitive about everything?
Yeah.
Yeah. His wife is shaking her head, yes, most things. So now getting to the parents.
Mhm.
We got some tough fans up here.
Oh yeah.
We've got some
Tough district to play in.
It is.
tough district
It
to
is.
play in, tough parents. And I'm not saying tough parents in a bad way, but we've got parents that think their kids ought to play every minute. Well, that just ain't the way it is. How do you plan on dealing with the parents in that type of situation? And I know that's probably a question I shouldn't ask you on the air, but
No, it's fine.
it's is your demeanor be the same way as it would be like a Coach Brad Stevens?
Yeah, well, I hope so. That'd be the plan. But I appreciate the passion. I know that there's probably some schools where the parents, you can't get them to come to the games.
Right.
So I appreciate the other side of it, where the parents are passionate about it, especially up here in Campbell County, where sports are so huge.
Right.
And high school sports are so huge. I mean, you can just go up to Campbell County nowadays on a Friday night and watch one of their football games. I mean, it's the biggest show in town. If there's a big rival coming into town to the basketball games, it's going to be packed. And I appreciate that passion from the parents. They care, and that gives you something to work with. Right now, coming in new, I just really want to earn their trust. I mean, I do, know a few of them just from growing up here, but a lot of them I don't know. So right now, I'm just going to start working on earning their trust, letting them know how much, my wife and I care about their daughter, and how much time we're going to spend. I use the word investment a lot, but just investing in the lives of their kids, not just in basketball, but off the court as well, in any way that we possibly can. So.
I think the biggest feather in his hat so far is the fact that he is from here and he's local. It wasn't somebody new that they hired him outside of this county.
Right.
Thank you for calling Just Sports. You on the air.
How you doing, Les?
Buddy, I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing, Edward?
Doing great. Coach, welcome to Campbell County.
Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that.
As
Oh, I know Ed, yeah. Everybody knows Ed.
a fan and supporter, welcome to Campbell County High School.
Thank you very much, sir. We hope to see you up there at the games.
And I'll be there, and you may not want to answer this, but you was talking about your philosophy,
Mhm.
and a lot of, I know Oak Ridge in the women game does it. Do you like to I'll ask this question, I'll hang up. What's your opinion about, do you like the fourth court press the other team the whole game? Because I know a lot of teams out there, they do the same thing. And go Cougars, and I'll talk to you later, Coach.
Thank you very much. As far as the full court pressure goes, I think a few things have to fit into that. I think you do have to have the athletes to do it. You have to have depth, and not only that, you have to have that just certain, wide open gear about you. At Grace, again, we did press quite a bit, but this was a year where we had quite a bit of depth. I don't think you press much, even if you've got 5 really, really solid players. It's still hard to press with them if you don't have that deep of a bench. And again, I have no idea kind of what we have coming in, but it kind of again depends on the team that you have. Now, if I have a team that can press, I'm all about it. That's a fun style to coach, and it's a fun style to watch, and it can just wreak havoc. Nothing's more fun than forcing 2 or 3 turnovers in a row and getting the other team kind of frazzled. I love it.
Well,
Me too.
I like to hear that. I like to see a quick, hard press, a very what word am I looking for here? Aggressive.
Aggressive, yeah.
Thank you. An aggressive press. So hopefully you've got the athletes to do that.
I hope so. That'd be nice.
Coach, we certainly appreciate you coming on the show. We're going to have you back. I promise. We'll have
Great.
you and some young ladies up here this coming
Great.
season. Also, we'll be in contact with you. I would love to come and watch some basketball practice as
Yes.
well.
Anytime you want to swing in, come right on by. That'd be
And,
great.
But we certainly appreciate you. Thank you for taking the head coaching job for the Lady Cougars at Campbell County High School. I wish you nothing but success.
Well, thank you very much, and I'm honored to have it. And thank you all for what you do for high school sports. Like I was saying before, you don't get this everywhere, and it's a blessing to have this up here. It's a great town to be in if you're a high school coach. So
Well, we're going to try to make sure that we keep it like this.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, folks, you have been watching Just Sports.
WLAF Sports Network.
Everybody, thanks for coming into your Sears hometown store for all your lawn and garden needs. And remember, we have appliances, so be sure to come in and buy a washer so you don't get laundry up to your eyeballs.
Hi, folks. I'm Gary at Sears. For every box of detergents that's sold, Robert said he'd give me a raise, so please come by and buy some. Thank you.
See Robert, Gary, and the entire crew at your hometown Sears store, Food City Center, Woodson Mall of Follett.
Just look for the parking lot full of cars. Yep, that's Charlie's Pizza.
Hey, this is Joey Fortnite, the world famous Charlie's Pizza. Come down and see us.
First dates, fun with friends, celebrations, a break from work, whatever your excuse for stopping by Charlie's Pizza, everyone understands because we all love Charlie's for pizza, pasta, sandwiches, salads, and lots more. What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza specialty? What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza memory? It's the worst kept secret around. It's Charlie's Pizza in Jacksboro. See you there.
She tells us, she tells us we're a mess, and then she says 3, 2, 1 live. Wow.
That way she gets no response.
Exactly. No response at all, either, at least off the air.
Right.
We may give her a response here pretty soon. But anyway, folks, welcome back to Just Sports. My name is Les Martin, along with Brent Allen. We were joined by Coach Brad Honeycutt, the new head basketball coach for the Lady Cougars. And I see, and you know what, I fail to do this each and every time. There's a couple of things I need to do before we get started. First and foremost, I want to tell you about 100.9. The FM side of WLAF is coming in May. Now, I know that's just a few days away. I'm going to tell you it's going to be sometime in the middle of May. I can't give you a definite date because just as sure as I give you a definite date and it doesn't come on the air at that particular time, you're going to be calling and wanting to know where 100.9 FM WLAF is at. So it's going to be coming sometime in mid-May. We're going to be broadcasting all the football, basketball games on FM now, as well as on AM 1450 WLAF.com. Also, WLAF Channel 12 on the replay. So everywhere. So if you're a coach, Coach Honeycutt, I hope you're listening. But if you're a coach in this area,
Yeah, Little League all the way through high school.
you're going to love this station.
Yeah.
You will love this station. So we certainly appreciate Coach Honeycutt. Also, before I get too much further on, before saying the rest of my little introductions or little information, also this is archived on WLAF, 1450WLAF.com. It's archived. Our show is archived every Tuesday and every Thursday. That's done by Mr. Coach Vic King.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know what archive means, it just means it's recorded, and you can go back and watch it. 3 months from now, you can watch this particular episode. So
Right.
it's always there to watch.
So if you have kids, or if you got a coach or something of that nature that's on the show, you can go back and watch it, or they can go back and watch it, or whatever the case may be. And without Coach King, that would not be possible.
That's right.
And we certainly thank him for his hard work, and it's something that we came up with, and it takes a lot of time.
It does. We've had a lot of folks, a lot of kids up here, and their parents would ask, well, is there anywhere we can watch this or get a recording? And we weren't able to do it for a long time, and now
Right.
we can. So that's a great benefit.
I've got to slide over here and grab my phone.
Okay.
Sorry, folks. But
I
you
don't know
got something pulled up. And before he says,
Before we get to that, I'd just like to say that I'm really psyched a little bit about this coach, this hire. I think we did a great job. This this young man brought. I mean, he's got his enthusiasm was contagious. I mean, I'm wanting to watch some girls basketball now. You know.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. I
think
agree.
it's a great hire, and I just want to get that out before I blew up. Now, what is it? What is it you want to discuss?
First and foremost, I've got to say this as well. Our Campbell County baseball team traveled to Clinton tonight to play the Clinton Dragons. I believe they traveled to Clinton. To the best of my knowledge, it was an away game. I don't have a score as of yet. I hope that Coach Browning will send me a text to tell me the score. Hopefully the Campbell County Cougars, for them to play in the district tournament, which starts May the 1st, they would have to beat Clinton tonight.
Is this a play-in?
This is a play-in game. So if they lose, their season is over. So hopefully we had a good turnout. They beat Clinton before in this season. So they have beat them prior. So hopefully they can beat them again and Coach Collette.
That's right. Unfortunately, on the same note, though, the Lady Cougar softball team had a play-in tonight against Oak Ridge, and they were unable to pull off the win against the Wildcats, and their season should be over. And as far as I think there may be a couple of makeup games, but they were not able to win that play-in game.
So they won't be playing in the district tournament.
That's my understanding. Now, if anyone knows any different, that's what I was told.
Okay.
I should just leave it at that.
And don't you see, folks, we've got to change that.
Yes.
We've definitely got to change that. We've got to get these kids.
Something I want to point out too, and maybe I have in the past, or I'm not sure. We only had one senior on the softball team.
Wow.
And that's saying a lot. And she was a contributor, did a great job for the team. But you know, we've got a really strong junior team coming up, or senior team coming up. The juniors moving up. And of course, a lot of sophomores. There's a lot of eighth graders coming up that are going to be able to contribute right away. And of course, our pitcher, and I want to say Stacy Morton. If anybody at home knows for sure or wants to correct me, feel free to. But I'm pretty sure that's her name. Did a great job this year after our senior pitcher quit. Right prior to a game, she took over, and we actually won a game after that, and that was a big deal. So good job with them. Unfortunately, like I said, they weren't able to beat Oak Ridge, and next year I think they'll look a lot better.
Also, I want to tell you that we also have a Just Sports Brent Less Facebook page, and I should say that every time as we go on the air, first thing, just like giving out the phone numbers, 566-1450 or 562-3557. I do apologize, but if you would like to join us via these phone numbers or through a message through the Facebook,
feel free
to do so. Hey, I know you got something up there, but can we save that for just a minute?
No hurry.
I want to talk about Coach Gabe King. Coach Gabe King is the coach of the Campbell County Cougars fishing team.
Aha.
Yes. Campbell County and Jellicoe had a tournament Saturday. I was able to be there and see them weigh in some fish and things like that. Campbell County had 7 boats in this tournament. Jellicoe had 1 boat. Jellicoe's a small area, so I can understand them only having 1 boat. Campbell County had a really good turnout. Jellicoe won.
Wow.
The only boat in the tournament, and it's not to take away from Jellicoe or not to take away from Campbell County, but I want to tell you something. It was tough sledding on Norris Lake Saturday. It was tough fishing from the way I understood these kids and the way they were talking, you know. But the first place team was Randy Dopel. I do not know his partner's name. I do apologize. They call Randy Dopel Bubby, if that means anything. But they won first place with 11 pounds, over 11 pounds of fish. Randy Dopel also had big fish at 5 pounds and so many, 5 pounds and so many ounces. I don't know the exact.
Pretty good fish.
It is. Yeah. Second place for Campbell County was Brandon Van Etten and Levi Chapman. They finished with just over 9 pounds in that tournament. So congratulations to Jellicoe, congratulations to Campbell County. May 13th, we will have Coach Gabe Keene on the show here. It will be a Tuesday night. They will have a fishing tournament over the weekend. On a Saturday, it's the Big Bass Pro fishing tournament that they'll be fishing in. And he told me today, I talked to Coach Gabe today, and he told me today that he's got a couple of kids that's got scholarships to go to college through this fishing.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
I mean, amazing. I actually saw a TV or a report recently on TV about the UT's bass team, I guess it is, fishing
Right.
team. I had no idea that they had a team.
Uh-huh.
But they do, and they're actually pretty good, and that's impressive.
It is.
Scholarship, getting an education for fishing. You know?
Exactly.
That's dream come true.
Yeah, so you know what my son and I did Friday night and Saturday?
Started fishing.
We started fishing.
It's time to buy a boat, son.
Well, I've got one today in Northcraft. It's like a little 14-foot Lowe's. So anyway, I wanted to say congratulations to Campbell County Cougars and Jellicoe Blue Devils. Like I said, May 13th, Coach Gabe Keene will be here live in person right here, and I'll get to ask him all those trick questions as far as all his secrets and all
I'm
those.
sure he'll tell us everything.
I'm sure he will. He ought to. Also, he'll have a couple of kids with him as well. Let's go ahead and see what you got, because I've got some other stuff here, but
Well, jumping over to UT football, last year, the NCAA released today the top 35 strength of schedule ratings for 2013, and obviously, no big surprise. I wouldn't be bringing it up if it weren't this way. But Tennessee's ranked number one last year with the toughest schedule in the country. Now, of course, that's a combination of the teams that they played, their records, and against
Right.
the records of the other teams they played, and that's pretty impressive.
it is.
And looking at the top 35, I counted 11 SEC teams, and that's from 28 down. So in the top 28, 11 SEC teams, and the first two are actually the first 4 it's Tennessee, Auburn, Georgia, Mississippi State's 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's the toughest schedule.
Toughest schedules. That's right. Alabama, unfortunately, oddly enough, is not even in the top 35. I'm not trying to start any trouble with you Alabama fans out there.
We are too.
bandwagoners.
I am.
But
If you got to say that you're the best team and number one team in the nation, you ought to play one of the toughest schedules.
yeah, you ought to at least be in the top 35. I mean, that's
I
maybe not
agree.
number one, but yeah, I have to question though. And what does it say about our scheduling and whoever sets that up? Is this a Dave Hart thing? I mean, what are they thinking? Why do we want to play the toughest teams in the country? I understand we have to play Alabama, we have to play Florida, we have to play Georgia, and that's going to make your schedule tough enough. But then you go out and get Oregon?
Yeah.
Really? I
And
mean,
this year they're going to play Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. That's no slouch. You know?
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
It's going to be tough. So I don't know. I think that I think there might be somebody needs to put a little more thought into this, and especially, I mean, when you look at it, we're trying to get wins. We want to keep Butch Jones around, and we don't want to run him off because of giving him the toughest schedule.
But
in the nation.
5 and 7 with the number one toughest schedule in the nation, with what he had to work with,
That's
is not bad.
That's not bad at all. I
I
agree.
mean, you
That's
look at it like that, that's not bad.
I'm sure he's aware of these stats, and I hope that he's able to, when he's doing his recruiting, to point that out. I mean, that's an actual recruiting tool, just like the big stadium and being ranked number one tailgating. This year we were ranked the number one tailgating college in the country. Or maybe it was number 2, 1 or 2. Washington, I think, had a high ranking. But at any rate, these are little tools they can use when they're talking to these families and these recruits and say, look, this is serious business. And we played the toughest schedule in the country and ended up 5 and 7, and we could use you to make it 12-0 or whatever.
Exactly. I think that's pretty impressive. Also, on some more college football news, James Franklin. Have you heard this about James Franklin?
I probably don't care, but I'll be honest.
Well,
Let's hear it.
James Franklin, apparently 4 days after this young lady was sexually assaulted by 4 Vanderbilt football players, contacted the alleged victim 4 days afterwards.
See what it take to hush her up?
Well, he said that he just wanted to talk to her because he wanted to make sure that she was okay and that he cared about her. Franklin and Galt, which Galt is a strength coach, told the victim that they cared about her because she assisted them with recruiting. Now listen to this. It gets worse. According to the filing from the defense, the new defense attorney, Coach Franklin called her into a private meeting and told her he wanted her to get 15 pretty girls together and form a team to assist with the recruiting, even though he knew it was against the rules. He added that all of the other colleges did it. Then when they called James Franklin to ask James Franklin had nothing to say. So
he didn't lie. He just didn't answer.
He just didn't answer. He just said he didn't want to talk about it. He said that said he was not interested in talking. So
Well, I'm sure he's not. That doesn't surprise me at all. I've always felt like he was a bit of a snake in the grass.
yeah.
Something has bothered me. It could be just his attitude towards Tennessee and all. I don't know, but I've just never liked him, and now I have more reason not to like him.
Yeah. We got a score update on the Campbell County Cougars and the Clinton Dragons. Clinton beat Campbell County by a score of 8-0. So Campbell County's season is over. I'm so sorry for those young kids and for Coach Browning. I know they did a very good job and a lot of hard work.
Yeah, it really started coming on at the end.
Oh, they sure did. So congratulations on the season that you had. And we certainly apologize for not making it, for you folks not making it to the district tournament, because we know everybody wants to play in the district tournament.
Of course.
That's what you play all year for, is to play in that district tournament, see how you fare. So unfortunately, some bad news for the Campbell County baseball team. Also, did you see Donovan Stewart? Donovan Stewart from the Examiner in Nashville. I'm going to tell you, in 2014, he's got a 2014 Class A top 10.
Yes.
Did you see that?
I did.
Campbell County number 10.
That's correct.
And he says it's in part because of the fact of Mr. Ethan Jeffers. Also, he's got some other information down here, and if my teleprompter, I say my teleprompter, if my teleprompter will cooperate with me, I can give you a little bit more information. Returning starters for Campbell County on offense is 9, defense is 6. They run a spread, of course, everybody knows that. Key returnees, Ethan Jeffers, Trey Torres, Paul Cordell, Joseph Elkins, Preston Miller, Austin Raines, Jacob Bunch, Peyton Webb. That's just to name a few. The key losses is Nick Bailey, Andrew Evans, Corey Phillips, Christian Monday, and he's got down potential breakout star is Jacob Bunch. If you remember Jacob Bunch last year in the number 4.
I do.
That
I was actually talking about him just recently.
Really?
I was.
He didn't look bigger than nothing, but he could really.
Yeah, he's not the biggest guy, and I don't know where he stands now as far as his physique goes, but the way he moved and the way he ran with such aggressiveness, such power,
Right.
To be a small guy was really impressive. So many times that they handed him the ball, and just I couldn't believe that I couldn't believe my eyes. He was running against their number 1 defense many times, and was able to make something happen.
Mr. Donovan Stewart said that the spring optimism is the return of Jeffers, which is 3,324 passing yards last year and 33 touchdowns. At quarterback to trigger the offense, as well as 9 starters back on the offensive side, is big for Campbell County, and I agree with that. Also, he said the spring concerns for Campbell County is find someone who did as much all around as Nick Bailey did is a big spring key for the Cougars, and he thinks that just junior Austin Raines just may have a crack at replacing Nick Bailey.
I agree. I agree with that, and I don't think that anyone could really replace Bailey in the sense that of the all-around things and the tangibles, the things that he did. In the huddle and on the sidelines and the things he did in the weight room. It's tough to do all that stuff, and it's tough to replace it. But here's my take on the situation, and the reason I agree with that ranking is although defensively we may not be quite as strong, if we can get more players involved instead of it being the Nick Bailey show, and if more players can make tackles, then, and that's what you're looking for. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was designed, I mean, it was set up for Nick to be the tackler because he was the best tackler.
Right.
So you set it up to where he's the unblocked linebacker, and therefore, and if you can do that again, but if you have everybody making good tackles and you work on your tackles enough, if we can keep our defense where it's not quite as strong as last year, our offense should be stronger than it was last year. We should be able to put up a lot of points, and if it comes down to a shooting contest or whatever, however you want to
A shootout.
then we should be able to pull it off.
I agree. Thank you for calling Just Sports on the air.
That Franklin that was in on that case, and another one of the coaches, they went to Penn State, didn't they say?
Yes, they went to Penn State, absolutely.
Well, what do you think about Mr. Silver losing all that gold?
Yeah, I know. It's that's something. We was going to get to that as well before the show.
Get to it.
Okay,
You don't have but about 10 minutes.
I know. We're bye. Also, he's got Oak Ridge at number 4, which I thought was really high.
Yeah, it kind of threw me for a loop a little too because he must know something that we don't. I was under the impression that Oak Ridge was going to be losing some pretty key players, but what they do have is a coach that's well-rounded in this sort of thing. He's been successful for many years,
Right.
and I think a lot of this ranking is going on his coaching ability. And they've got a great program. You can't take anything away from them. I mean, Oak Ridge has had they've been a powerhouse for years, and with the coach returning, I think that he'll have something.
Yeah.
Whether they've got quite the same amount of athletes, which they usually have no shortage of athletes anyway.
Exactly.
It's just a matter of how well they're coached, and certainly he's proven that he can do the coaching. So it caught me by surprise, but I'm not floored by it. It's just I think it's mostly the coach more than anything else.
And who didn't make the top 10?
I didn't see Anderson County in there. Oh, is that what you were talking about?
You read my
I'm just
mind.
guessing. I don't know if that's what you meant.
No, it wasn't in there.
Yeah, and I don't know that that's the case. I don't know. I don't have the ins and outs of who all. I know that Anderson County has lost. Those guys that they picked up from. That was a joke, folks. Davey Gillum is not that kind of guy. I'm joking. He's a very honest man, good man. That was a joke, but they did have some guys that did transfer. That
Right.
the Pike kid. There's some guys that made a big difference on that team. You take those out of the equation, and
They were up front too.
oh yeah,
All the beef was up
yeah,
front.
they had a lot of guys up front that were doing a lot of work and allowing that offense to operate behind without any pressure, without much pressure.
Yeah.
So you take that away, and certainly they're not going to have. And who knows? They may have more guys coming in from Central or wherever that they're coming from. And again, I don't mean that in a bad way.
Right.
I mean,
I snigger because
I know it is
just-
my understanding, and I looked into this, and it's my understanding that there was nothing inappropriate. That these people actually they wanted to come there, I guess, to play football in Anderson
Right.
County. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as they do it legally, that's fine. We've got folks that have come here, recently from Anderson County, I believe, for whatever reason. Maybe they see the writing on the wall. I don't know. Maybe they don't like the coaching staff. Maybe they don't like the school. I don't know.
Right.
But for whatever reason, kids do move. Parents move. Kids have to move with them. So I've dug myself in a hole.
You explained it just fine.
Okay.
It was probably me that was being sarcastic,
Yeah.
and I didn't mean it sarcastically, but it is what it is.
Well, I hear this all the time. We joke around about it.
Right.
But the truth of the matter is, like I said, I have nothing but respect for Coach Gillum. He's a good man.
Also, we're going to try to have Coach Price. He sent me a text back. He said he would try, but he would let me know for sure tomorrow if Coach Price can be on the show this Thursday night. So hopefully he can. If he can't, we'll have him to call in instead. Eager to get, I know he's eager to get spring practice going. I know he's probably extremely busy, but we're going to try to grab him before it gets started.
Yeah, they're issuing equipment even as we speak. I mean, it's getting starting to roll.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, I wanted to talk about the basketball. Did you hear about Donald Sterling, the Los Angeles Clippers owner?
I was hoping we wouldn't have to talk about it. But
Well, that's what Miss
what the
Johnson.
people want.
Yeah, that's what the people want. He made a comment, and I'm not going to repeat what he said, but
he made a lot of comments.
yeah, he
I mean,
made a lot of comments. But let me ask you a question: how can you make a comment about something like that when you have African American basketball players playing for you and on your payroll?
Well, I think it boils down to, and somebody said this, I've heard it all day, I've been listening to the radio. Somebody said that it's basically a mentality of he owns them, and they owe him. If it weren't for him, they wouldn't have anything. Like they couldn't go somewhere else and play.
Right.
You know, he even used or said the comment something along the lines of, you know, I buy them cars, I buy them houses, I put food on their table. No, it's their basketball. It's their skills that puts the food on the table.
Exactly.
Because they would go somewhere else and make as much or more money.
Exactly.
The guy's got a warped sense of the world. He's got so much money he doesn't understand.
But did you see his girlfriend?
His girlfriend is half Asian, half black, I believe, and I understand he's married as well.
He is.
And that's why I just don't even want to talk about the guy. As far as I'm concerned, he's useless. I mean, I just have no. You know, he could leave the earth. As far as I'm concerned, that's just. I mean.
Well, he got a
they cannot
lifetime
swear.
ban. He got a lifetime ban.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yes, he got a lifetime ban from the basketball and a $2.5 million fine.
Oh, that'll hurt him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
He may have to sell one of his girlfriend's Lamborghinis.
yeah, the NBA, the commissioner of the NBA, Adam Silver, is trying his best to force Donald Sterling into selling the team.
Yeah, now see, that's something that I don't agree with. I don't like the guy. I don't like anything he had to say. I think he's an idiot. And I think that's a nice way to put it. But this is America. He owns the team. He'll sell it when he's good and ready. As far as I'm concerned, you can't force someone to sell a business, and it is a business, just like anything
Correct.
else.
Absolutely.
Now, if the players decide they don't want to play for him,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they decide to start losing all the games, whatever, they can put enough heat and pressure on him to where he just finally goes that way. But as far as the NBA telling him he has to, I don't like it. That's not their place, and you know, this is, as long as this is still America, and as long as we go use capitalism, as long as capitalism reigns, and it does, he's where he needs to be. Again, don't like him, but
Yeah. Well, I agree with that. I don't think that. I think if the fact that he owns the team and he made a mistake, you know what, a lifetime ban and him being fined $2.5 million, as long as he hires somebody else to run the team and operate the team.
what's the ban mean? I mean, lifetime ban from being a part of. I mean, he still owns the team. They can't ban him from owning the team,
Right.
but they're
he
just banning him from having any.
He can't have anything to do with the basketball operations whatsoever. I mean, he's banned, period, from the games, from the whole 9 yards.
Interesting.
Yeah. Did you hear about the outstanding quarterback Travis Waller from Anaheim, California?
I did not.
He is one of those young men that Tennessee offensive coordinator Mike Vajankian went out to see Waller earlier this week. He also plans to visit this summer to Knoxville. He is one of these young kids. He is a dual threat quarterback. That's exactly what Tennessee is looking for. Not only did Tennessee offer him, but he has offers from Arizona, BYU, Colorado, Ole Miss, Penn State, Vanderbilt, Washington, and many others. So this is one young man that's going to be pretty phenomenal. He'll be a senior this year coming up, so he'll be the class of 2015. But what do you do with all these quarterbacks? I mean,
Well, some are going to be leaving.
someone, I would have to leave. If I was in some of those kids' shoes, I would have to leave.
Yeah, and, you know, we had was it Alden Hill
Yes.
who recently left, running back. I mean, we're getting the stable's getting a little too full in the running back area. He knew he was at the bottom of the at the depth chart, and you've got to make a decision, and he did. And that's what's going to happen with you know, who it may be Ferguson, maybe Worley, maybe Dobbs. Who knows? I mean, I think Dobbs was really impressive, but somebody's going to go home. And these guys that are coming in, again, they're not going to sit on the bench, you know, for 3 years and get 1 year playing time. If they're that good of a football player, they're going to go somewhere where they can play.
Yeah, and as would I.
Sure. I mean, that's their whole game plan is to get to college where they can get seen, get playing time, and make it to the NFL. So we'll see how that goes. I just have to wonder, what is Butch Jones telling these kids? I mean, how is he able to say, yeah, we've got 4 or 5 already, but you know what? You should come anyway, And they're like, okay.
Well, I think that if I'm as good as I say or think that I am, I'm not going to let somebody else in my position prevent me from going someplace where I want to go, because I want to, not only do I want to play against the best in the Southeastern Conference, but I want to beat the best for the position.
I agree. And if that's the kind of guy you want, the guy that's not afraid to compete.
Exactly.
Because and we've had some in the past. What was his name? He went to Texas, I think.
Brandon Stewart.
He couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle the pressure. Now he was up against Peyton Manning, I believe.
He was.
But at the time, they weren't that far apart. I mean, when you watched them play, Manning was still young and still rough and gangly and all that. I mean, the kid had a shot. I just don't think he can handle the pressure. And I think there's a lot of kids out there that will turn away from a program. And that's, as far as I'm concerned,
right,
let him go, because that's not the kind of guy you want.
You don't want that guy in the trenches when you're trying to get out and you're going to battle against somebody else.
Absolutely.
I agree. Folks, an hour has come and gone. We certainly appreciate you taking an hour out of your day to join us here on the AM side of the dial of 1450, as well as 1450WLAF.com. We can't say we got to say do not forget about 100.9 coming to you in May. WLAF Live, FM style, 100.9. Also, we are on WLAF Channel 12, as well as the internet. We're also archived. So, for those who has kids that's been on the show, you can go back and watch them on WLAF, 1450WLAF.com.
Big thank you to the new coach for the Lady Cougars, Brad Honeycutt.
Brad Honeycutt, thanks for joining us, Coach. And for our executive producer, Honeybee, my name is Les Martin.
I'm Brent Allen. God bless and go Cougars.
WLAF Sports Network.
Hello folks, this is Robert again from your Sears hometown store. If you're having trouble tossing and turning in bed, or having a backache, or your partner wakes you up when they come to bed, we can solve your problem with our Sealy Posturepedic mattresses or other name brand mattresses at your Sears hometown store. So come on down to your Sears hometown store and get some rest for your eyeballs with one of our Sealy or other fine mattresses.
Just look for the parking lot full of cars. Yep, that's Charlie's Pizza.
Hey, this is Joey Fortnite, the world's famous Charlie's Pizza. Come down and see us.
First dates, fun with friends, celebrations, a break from work, whatever your excuse for stopping by Charlie's Pizza, everyone understands, because we all love Charlie's for pizza, pasta, sandwiches, salads, and lots more. What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza specialty? What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza memory? It's the worst kept secret around. It's Charlie's Pizza in Jacksboro. See you there.
And to order states to seek to eliminate or to reduce that air pollution. So this is a defeat for states and for polluters.
The court heard arguments today on whether police officers can search the cell phones of suspects without a warrant. A federal judge has struck down Wisconsin's voter ID law, saying its requirement for a photo ID is unfair to poor and minority voters. The Dow up 86 points. This is CBS News.
Hi, I'm Lynn, and I am totally blind. Like many who are totally blind, I have non-24, a